तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं।
Hi guys, welcome to Screen Guru. I hope you all are doing very well and that you enjoyed the few very severe cold months that we got. HSC exams are approaching soon and we realize just how much pressure you all must be in. So to help you out a little bit, we have come up with a series of videos where we will cover the English that is there in your portion for 12th standard. In today's video, we are going to cover unit number 1, which is mostly grammar patterns and some vocabulary here and there. Throughout the video, I will keep on mentioning the page numbers that I am doing, but still I would recommend that you sit with your own textbook, notebook and a pen so that you can take your own notes, you can solve the exercises as and when we go about it. Let's start. Let's start with unit 1 today. I have mentioned the page number at the top left corner of the slide. So you can open up that page. I'm not going to do all the sentences given in the exercise, but I will pick up a few important ones. I'll read the first one. The power of his eyes was considerably enhanced. Here you have to replace the word enhanced with the word enhancement. The thing is, try to understand the grammatical compositions in the, not compositions, grammatical components in the sentences over here. The sentence in blue, in that sentence, considerably is an adverb. And the word that comes after an adverb is obviously a verb. So, enhanced is the verb. When you want to use the word enhancement, it becomes noun form of the verb. So what you can do is think of the word enhancement and think about how the sentence will sound if you use it with the word enhancement. The answer is there was considerable enhancement in the power of his eyes. He had a working analysis of something. Here, working is used as a gerund, which is acting as an adverb over here, or not adverb, as an adjective over here. So when you want to use the verb worked, it becomes a verb. He had an analysis of something, something, something that worked. He shook his head regretfully. Regretfully is obviously an adverb. It is explaining, it is not explaining, it is describing the verb shook. So he is doing something in a way, which means he is doing XYZ with ABC feelings. He shook his head with regret. I'm so sorry for the error here. It is not in, it is with. He shook his head with regret. It was a bewildering crisscross of light rays. Bewildering here again is a gerund which is used as an adjective. When you want to say bewildered, it will become a verb. It is same like the sentence number B. The crisscross of light rays was bewildered. I will prepare some nice stuff for her. Preparation of nice stuff will be planned or arranged by me. Let's go ahead to the next one. Okay, next we go on to page number 22. This is a very important topic in your grammar because, well, it is, and it will come in handy for many other topics. So I have chosen one random example that they have given in the book. I'll give you a tip over here. Whenever you want to change, let's say enable is the thing that they have given in the textbook. So think of it, how will the sentence sound if it is a noun like enable? Enable means you are giving someone the ability to do something. Do not enable her. Do not give her the ability to behave the way that she is behaving right now, or do not, um, do not ignore what she is doing. Scold her, something like that. So enables noun form is ability. I have the ability to do it. Now, when we want to make the adjective, it can be a little confusing as you rarely use this adjective in the sense that I am an able candidate. You usually use I am a good candidate, I am a well-suited candidate, I am a perfect candidate. But with rare words like these, you can really make a good impression. This is where this whole concept comes into consideration. I am an able candidate. As of the adverb, you have to add ly. She baked a cake very ably for her age. This is indeed a very difficult question, but what you can do is you can always increase your vocabulary. You can experiment with different sentence structures. And to be absolutely sure, in the end, do try to make a sentence out of the word that you have changed. Like, let's say that they have given the noun form and you are asked to make an adjective. So you do come up with the word able, but you are still not sure. Or even if you're sure, use it in a sentence and see if that makes sense. Only then consider it as the correct answer, just to be careful. Next, we go to page number 24. Okay, these are a few everyday phrases or words or sentence patterns that we use really, but we often use them wrong because no one teaches us what is the right way to say that or why is it the right way to say that. I'll read the first sentence. Radha brought pens and distributed them between her 5 children. You always distribute something among some people. You find a difference between something, or you count the distance between two things, but you distribute something among some people. She was taken with surprise. You are not taken with surprise. You are taken by surprise. It is not possible, blah, 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 once the sentence has been completed. I have bold the word is and has been. It is because they tell the tense of the sentence. Remove not and just see the verb is possible. Is possible is something that you use in present tense. It is possible or it is not possible. But when you say once the sale has been completed, has been is a past perfect tense. So the tenses in the sentence are not compatible. Like they are pointing towards different sentences. So it is not possible, blah, 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 once the sale is completed. For the something for the last 5 years, Dr. Sengupta has been trying to master the craft for the last 5 years. The thing is, whenever you are mentioning a particular time frame, since something you're doing, you have been doing it. So you will use the preposition since. When the action has been completed already, I was learning the art form for 5 years. Now I am not doing it. The action has stopped in the past. It is in past tense. That is when you use the preposition for. But if the action is continuing, so it basically means that since a long time you have been doing this. So the preposition should be Dr. Sengupta has been trying to master the craft since the last 5 years. You do not expect something from someone. You expect something of someone. You have expectations from someone, but when it is a verb form, you do not say you expect from her. You say this is something that I expect of you. Or expectation is a noun form. When you use a noun form, you say these are my expectations from you. That is when you use from. When it is a verb, we use of. Next, we go to page number 34. This is actually very easy when you know the synonyms or when you are good with playing with words as such. What you can do in this question is try to think of other ways in which you can say that. Like the first sentence, the policeman refused to accept something. He refused to accept also means he declined or he did not accept. What you have to do over here is you have to convert the sentences into negative ones, right? So if it was the policeman did not accept and you had to do it in a positive sense, you could have said that the policeman declined to accept, refused to accept. Refusing to do something also means you're not doing something. So the policeman did not accept something. Seemed very far away from, let's say, an island, which also means it did not seem anywhere near to, let's say, an island. So think of different ways that you can say the same thing, but without changing the meaning of that sentence. The last part is very essential, by the way. Next question. Men who smash windows do not remain to chat with the police. Here, you have to do exactly opposite of what you did in the previous exercise. You have to make the negative sentence into a positive one. men who smash windows do not remain, which also means they flee, they avoid, they refrain from that action. So you can say men who smash windows avoid from remaining or refrain from remaining to chat with the police. Now, why can't you use a completely different word like flee? Men who smash windows flee and do not chat with the police. This does make sense. It does not change the meaning of the sentence. But remember that you are making it a compound sentence. Here, men who smash windows is who smash windows is an adjective clause over here. So it is a complex sentence. And when you use another word, do not remain means to flee, it is true. But when you say that, it becomes a compound sentence. So you are changing the nature of that sentence. So try your best to not do that. On the opposite side of the street was a restaurant of no great pretensions. Pretensions is basically something that you do to attract the attention of something or to basically call action out of somebody. So no great pretensions can also means unpretentious. On the opposite side of the street was an unpretentious workshop, not workshop, restaurant. Next, we go to page number 41. This is a very, what can I say, largely used grammar pattern. And the thing is, here it is very important that you understand the context of the sentence. Advertisers are one of the biggest players in big data. This means there are other big players as well, which are just as good as advertisers. It doesn't mean that advertisers are the only big players. So when you want to use the same sentence with very few, you have to see to it that you do not ignore the fact that there are other big players as well. So it becomes very few players in big data are as big as advertisers. So here you, as you can see, the sentence, meaning of the sentence, the context of the sentence is not changing. Not many players are bigger than advertisers in big data. Means there are a few, but not many. So you are still putting across the same message. Next, you have to, we go to question number 2. You have to use as well as and either or. Whatever activity we do online is recorded, monitored, and analyzed. So true. I hope you guys are not connecting your cookies with your Chrome extensions or anything. Never mind. Whatever activity we do online is 3 things. Since it is 3 things, only the last verb before that we will use as well as. You cannot say whatever activity we do online is recorded as well as monitored and analyzed. What we do is we take 2 verbs, we put them together, and after the second last verb, we use the phrase as well as. Whatever activity we do online is recorded, monitored, as well as analyzed. The basic concept is after as well as, only one action should come. Next, using either or, whatever activity we do online is either recorded, monitored, or analyzed. Same thing over here, either action number 1, action number 2, or action number 3. But if there were 5 actions, let's say, so it will be whatever activity we do online is either action number 1, action number 2, action number 3, action number 4, or action number 5. Only one action will come after all. So these are just a few basic things. Otherwise, this is very simple. Next, we go to page number 53. Okay, what you have to do here is you have to check the tense of the sentence. The tense also depends upon the action or some other things that we are talking about, the time frame of the sentence. She, verb, that old-fashioned book of her mother a few months back. Now, I'm very sure your first instinct would be to go with the verb took. She took that old-fashioned book of her mother a few months back. But the thing is, if you look at the phrase few months back, we are talking about a particular time period in the past. So it should be a past participle. The verb of the sentence should be a past participle. So the answer is she had taken, past perfect tense. She had taken that old-fashioned book of her mother a few months back. If the sentence would have ended at she something that old-fashioned book of her mother and no time frame was given, then you could have gone with the verb took. But since they are mentioning a particular time frame, you will make a past perfect participle out of it. Next, she something something like a dressmaker's dummy standing there. Some of you might go with will be feeling, but the thing is, will be feeling comes as a future continuous tense. The sentence is in past tense because if it was in future tense, the sentence would have been she will be feeling like a dressmaker's dummy when she stands over there. So since standing there already indicates past tense, it will be she felt like a dressmaker's dummy standing there. Question number 2 has to deal with modals. Now with modals, it is important that you understand the context of the sentence, and I'll demonstrate why. The modal can. Can we use it as a modal of request? Yes. Can I come in? Can I drink water? Can I borrow your book? Can we use it as a modal of ability? Yes. Can the plant grow in 2 months? Can I continue sports? Can you use it as a modal of permission? Yes, you can. Can I eat something out of your tiffin, or can I scribble something on your notebook? Can we use it as an obligation? No, you cannot. Can you use it as a request? No, you cannot. But still, you can use it as 3 modal forms. So it is important that you understand the context of the sentence. Like, Lata will sing tonight. Here, it is sounding as if it is very certain that she is going to sing tonight for sure. Nobody mentions that for sure she will sing or she will certainly sing. But there is nothing that also indicates the probability that she cannot or she might not. So when they ask you to make it less certain, you can say Lata would or Lata might sing tonight. The rest of the sentences are easy. Next, we go to page number 63. Here, basically, they are asking you to make passive voice out of the sentences that are given in active voice. Although I have already covered active passive voice, I'll still nevertheless explain this once again. I can guide visitors. This is active voice. Can guide is a verb that is in present tense. Visitors, when you start the sentence with the word that is object in the previous sentence, you're basically making passive voice out of it. Visitors can be guided by me. So since you're making it a passive voice sentence, you have to use a past participle. So it will be visitors can be guided by me. The rest of the sentences follow the same principle, so you can follow that. Next, you have to use not only but also. The petrified langurs speeded to the trees near and secured something something something. Here, the sentence talks about 2 actions. First of all, they speeded. Action number 1 is speeded. Action number 2 is secured. So, the petrified langurs, not only action number 1, but also action number 2. The petrified langurs not only speeded to the trees near and far, but also secured their places on the tree tops. This can be a little confusing if you do not understand what action is being talked about, but see to it that you first understand the sentence, break it down into components. If you are not able to understand it quite well, then it might go easier. Next, we go to page number 89. On the grammar exercise that they are talking about, they mention primary auxiliary verbs and main verbs. Simply put, there is a main verb in a sentence when it is followed by a subordinating word. If you remember finite and non-finite verbs always need a finite verb before them in order to make sense. So when there is a non-finite verb in a sentence, there will also be a finite verb in the sentence. That finite verb will be main verb. But when there is only one verb in the sentence and there is no non-finite verb, then that verb is the primary auxiliary verb. I have, what can I say, categorized the sentences. Sentence number A, B, D, and E have main verbs, whereas sentence number C and F are primary auxiliary verbs. going to question number 3 of the same sentence. I did not fully understand their discussions, but I was immensely impressed. Here they are asking you to remove but. How is that going to happen? Although I did not fully understand their discussion, I was immensely impressed. I decided that something. As the sentence is saying that you decided to not do something, as in I decided that I would do nothing of the sort. Basically, you decided against doing something of that sort. So when you decide to not do something, you decide against doing something. Just remember this one pattern. When I look back, there are a number of lessons that I cherish. On looking back, I have a number of lessons that I cherish. Why can you not use upon looking back? Because when you use upon looking back, the sentence has a context like this. Let's say you are walking on a road and you hear someone call your name. So what will you say? Upon looking back, I found out that my friend from school was there, or somebody was not there at all. It was just my imagination. So when you are actually doing that action with your neck of looking back in reality, that is when you use a preposition upon looking back. But when you're using it in a metaphorical sense, then you use the preposition on looking back. There are many who tell me blah, 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 blah. There are many telling me blah, 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 blah. The rest of the sentence are quite easy, but nevertheless, if you are struggling with something, do not hesitate to ask for help. You can do well, just practice a lot. Grammar is all about practice. It is like formulas. So with practice, you can definitely achieve perfection. So far, we have completed unit number 1. If you have any doubts, let us know and share the video with those who you might think that are in need of it. Thanks a lot for watching.
Just then.
So please whatever. Please I want to reach 1 million.